Have you ever wondered exactly what is in the food you were eating? Most of us get so carried away in the delicious tastes and smells of food that we don't care to think about the actual ingredients that we are digesting. We may know that we're eating a burger, so there's cheese, meat, bread, lettuce, and tomato in it, but what is actually in those ingredients? More and more research is being done as to what is being put into the foods we are eating. Scientists are finding that there is a rapidly increasing rate of genetic material being put into our food. Even the most basic of ingredients, such as fruits, vegetables, meats, and dairy are being found to have been genetically modified. So now you're probably wondering, what exactly is genetically modified foods? These are foods that have been inserted with genetic material by scientists to alter or change the plants and animals. This manipulation allows the scientists to create any trait that they want an organism to have, maybe something that they will never obtain just with evolving naturally. This technology is called modern biotechnology. It allows the selected individual genes to be transferred from one organism to another, even between non-related species. The core genetic makeup of organisms is being changed when this is done, and they do it for several reasons, both having beneficial and negative effects. The first of the reasons that are beneficial is to deal with the pesticide problem. Plants used to be sprayed with chemical pesticides to kill off the insects, but many of those chemicals were found to not work or be extremely toxic. So the solution was to produce plants that contain a natural plant toxin that kills the pests instantly. Another positive reason that genetically modified foods are used is to have disease resistance. All crops are susceptible to different viral, bacterial, and fungal diseases. Plants have shown to have immunity to only certain viral pathogens. Therefore, a variety of constructs are needed to provide resistance against a broad spectrum of viral diseases. Along with these reasons, there are also several more as to why genetically modified foods are beneficial. Some genes inserted into the crops have been found to increase cold tolerance or drought balance. Some have also proved to improve the crop by making it better tasting and more appealing to the eye. Crops have even been genetically modified to increase their shelf life, nutritional value, or make for easier harvesting methods. Although these may seem beneficial to us and to the crops, that there are a number of reasons that genetically modified foods can have a negative effect in our everyday lives. It is said that the main reason that the government allows for crops to be genetically modified is because it increases the grow rate of the crops, which ultimately increases the profit made. A lot of the genes that are injected into the crops are to make them grow faster or to increase the amount of time that they can stay in the store for. Another act that is being done to increase the government's profit is that they are patenting seeds, so that only government can grow the crop and receive all the profits from that crop. Corn is a good example of this being done because the government owns corn and all of the profit that is produced from it. This is why there are such a large number of foods that have some sort of corn in them, such as cornstarch and cornmeal. The last negative against genetically modified foods is the fact that increased number of diseases. Many people think that GM foods, which are genetically modified foods, are the cause of many outbreaks, such as the most recent outbreak with food called E. coli. This is a bacterium that can be found on almost any produce. This bacterial infection can cause someone to be extremely sick and can even lead to death. Not only do scientists believe that GM foods have caused E. coli, but it is also said that many of the cancers and diseases that are associated with people these days have come from the harmful effects of genetically modified crops. Genetically modified foods can have both a negative or positive side, depending on your viewpoint. There can be several short-term benefits to genetically modified foods, such as increased profit and grow time, or there can be harmful effects that can be caused in the long run, such as disease and obesity. However the case, it should be taken into close consideration what kind of food you are putting down your throat. Ultimately, you are the decision maker when it comes to the foods you digest. Whether they are genetically modified or organic, just make sure that the food you are eating is the healthiest possible for your body.